Hey my little party animals, hiphiprenee here today with a brand new speed build for you, and today we are starting a brand new challenge. So this challenge was created by a friend of mine called GreenScreen. You will be able to find the link to her channel down in my description box below. But basically what this channel is, I'm sure you've seen it around. There's plenty of people doing this right now. It's really a clever idea. I really like it. And it is called the A to Z challenge. So essentially what it is every letter of the alphabet, you have to create a build for that letter of the alphabet. So, you know, going from A to Z, 26 different builds, and you can really kind of do whatever you want for each letter. I've seen tons of different people already starting letter A, because of course letter A is the first one that you're going to do. I'm sure that we're going to all have some issues once we get down to the weirder letters like X and Z and all that fun stuff. But I've seen people do like artist lofts. I've seen A-frame houses. There's been some really cute, clever ones. One that I have not seen yet, though, is an Art Deco house. So I decided to go with Art Deco because, you know, I have to challenge myself. Apparently, this whole past month and a half or so has been, you know, out of my comfort zone style builds. So why not just keep it going and continue to break the traditions that I've held near and dear on this channel for, you know, the year or so that I have been on YouTube. Let's get away from some suburban builds for a while, and I decided to do Art Deco. So Art Deco, if you're not sure, I'm literally just going to kind of explain what this is, going off of the Wikipedia page, because if I tried to explain Art Deco on my own, I'm sure that it would make absolutely no sense to anybody. So I'm literally just gonna read some things off of Wikipedia for you, so that way you have a better kind of general idea of what an Art Deco house is. Art Deco is a style of visual arts. It's not just like houses or architecture, but basically it's visual arts, architecture, design. So it could be anything from buildings, furniture, jewelry, fashion, cars, trains, everyday objects. I really feel like the 1930s is kind of one of the best representations of Art Deco. If you think of like the trains from the 30s and things like that, movie theaters from the 30s, it's really just all about kind of luxury and glamour, and it's a little over the top, it's a little opulent. So that's really what I was trying to go for here. And then of course I looked up quite a few different reference photos to try and just give myself a better idea as far as the external structure of something that would be considered Art Deco. And I did notice that a lot of the structures had, you know, a decent amount of bits and pieces around it that were very hard and harsh lines. And then there were some softer edges with a lot of circular style things, whether it just be a bump out on the side of the house, or maybe instead of an angle to, you know, connect one wall to another, it was just, you know, very circular. So because we don't actually have circular walls, I did actually just go with the idea that the circle would come in with the porch. So this front entryway over here is circular, and I think that it really just kind of softens up the rest of the house, because the rest of the house is a lot of very, very harsh angles. And then you see me going around. I did build this in Oasis Springs, so of course there's a lot of desert in Oasis Springs, but I wanted to bring in at least a little bit of greenery, and I wanted to do it in a very, again, angular and very specific kind of way. So I did actually go into the debug menu, and for the first time I used those little pavers that you can only find in the debug menu. And let me tell you, it was a nightmare placing all of those down. Oh my goodness gracious. There are so many simmers who are really, really good at using these and placing them in a way that is just absolutely perfect, and it super makes sense, and they can always find them right away, I feel like. I think I spent like 10 minutes just searching for these pavers. I knew they were in the debug menu. I knew to search for debug, but for God knows what reason, I literally could not find them. So I was having a time trying to just find these pavers. And then when I finally did find them, I don't use the debug menu very often, and I guess I had forgotten that when you go into the debug menu, if you are placing items from the debug menu, you cannot use the shift key in the same way that you use the shift key the rest of the time you build. So if you are a builder on The Sims 4, maybe you know this, maybe you don't know this. If you're just learning it, congratulations. This is going to make your life way easier. But if you hold down shift while you're placing an object, it will automatically clone that object for you. So you can continually put down multiple of the same object. That being said, the shift key does not work with debug items. So you cannot do this if the item is from the debug menu. So those pavers, since they are not actual items and they are just in the debug menu, you actually physically have to click and place down every single paver. And oh my goodness, it took me forever. This footage is sped up a lot. Like, it's sped up so much. But I really did want to show you guys, that this is possible. This is something that you can definitely do. If it's done right, it looks really, really great. There are some wonderful examples of this on other Simmers channels, and I appreciate their talent and their patience with this. I am not a super patient person, so don't expect to see me using these pavers frequently on my channel. It's probably something that I will bring back because they are a really good idea, and it is really nice to have, these uniform looking pavers or rocks instead of the rocks that we do have. Not that I don't love them. I really do love the rocks that are in the landscaping tab. But sometimes when you want to do something that's as manicured and as perfect looking as this, you definitely want to have something that, again, is more uniform. So that's what I was going for here. I did not do too much in the backyard. Again, I don't normally build in Oasis Springs. I don't know if you guys have realized that about me, but Oasis Springs is not so much my thing. I really don't know how to landscape deserts, just to be entirely honest. But again, I wanted to go very simplistic for the exterior of this because I knew the inside was going to be a little bit over the top, possibly a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, but I think it turned out pretty cool in the end. We don't have a lot of items that are like specifically Art Deco, I would say, but we do have enough items that I feel like I represented the style in a way that I really like how it came out. I think it looks really cool. I am very pleased with how this build came out, so it is what it is. It was inspired by Art Deco. I would never say that this, house straight up just is Art Deco because, again, it's not really my style. It's not something that I have done a ton of research into, but I do think it ends up looking really cool in the end. This kitchen here, the floor does not stay black. I tried black on black and I was like, oh, this is just like, it's so dark. Like, it's so dark. And I will say, a lot of Art Deco styles that I have seen are very black and white, and then there's kind of splashes of some really intense colors, purples, yellows, even teals, yellows, that kind of thing. But there is a lot of black and white, so that's what I was trying to go for. I do end up changing the flooring to a darker kind of charcoal, and I feel like it just gives a little bit of life to the actual build because for this black on black is just, it's too much. It's just far, far too much. I can't handle it. I did try and play around with some wallpapers out here. I ended up not using wallpapers out in the actual living space, so I do change that. I do use this wallpaper in the bedroom though. Luxury Glamour, I'm pretty sure is what that one is from, and I feel like Luxury Glamour, or whatever it's called, Vintage Glamour, that's what it is, sorry. Vintage Glam has a decent amount of items that could be considered Art Deco, and that really just kind of worked really, really well with this build, so I am glad that I had that pack. I will say that is one of the better stuff packs that we have. Some of the stuff packs are like, meh, like spooky stuff. I don't really use it. backyard stuff is pretty cool, but again, not something that I use all the time. I really, really do like the vintage glamour one though. I just like this style. I think the style is really cool. It's really pretty. It's really fun to work with. So I am glad that I had that pack. I think it was very helpful as far as trying to decorate this house because I was having a little bit of a problem trying to find like actual Art Deco like kind of furniture and things like that, even just as far as finding some references to, you know, kind of work off of and to kind of get some inspiration from. A lot of the things that I found, now normally I use Pinterest. If there is another source that you guys know of as far as finding inspiration for decor and things like that, please leave me a comment down in the comments below, I guess. Please leave me a comment and let me know kind of where you guys get your inspiration from, if there's somewhere else that I should be looking, because I feel like when I go on Pinterest, I end up seeing the same things over and over and over again, and it gets a little bit frustrating. And when I was trying to look up Art Deco kind of things, I really was just getting like, here's a bunch of Art Deco bathrooms. And I was like, that's cool, but like, I need to furnish more than just a bathroom. Like I can't only furnish a bathroom. There was a lot of really good inspiration for bathrooms, but not so much for everything else. So if you guys have, you know, another source that you look at, definitely let me know. I would super appreciate it. There is no TV in this build. I had a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out exactly where to place things in this build because it is pretty small. It's only a 1-bedroom house and there is not a lot of space. I did take up a decent amount of space with the kitchen, and then I had this little living room area and I had a little dining room area. And I just could not figure out where to put the TV, so I don't believe that we end up with a TV anywhere in this build. I think it turns out okay. I mean, there's a bookshelf, so I guess you can read some books instead. I don't know. You could always find a spot to place a TV in here. You could probably actually even just stick one up on that little side wall that's next to the purple couch that we've placed in there. That wouldn't be a terrible spot for it. I do end up switching out these lights as I am doing right now. The overhead lights, I don't know, I wanted to do something a little kooky, a little crazy, but with the way that this layout was done on the interior, it just felt odd to have a light over the dining room table but not in the living room, and then it felt even weirder to have one in both. So I wasn't quite sure what to do there. But I think it turned out okay. I like the colors. I think the deep purples with the yellows are really nice. Personally, I really like those colors together, so I was pretty excited about that. And this is actually a 2-bathroom house. I did start off with these pink cabinets and I immediately didn't like them. So what I did is I actually just switched them over to black, and then for the corner piece, I used a white corner piece. I thought it was kind of cool to have, again, the black and white. That's, you know, kind of a main style of Art Deco from what I have seen. So I thought that was a really cool idea. And then I did end up using the bathtub and the shower. So you have both of them. And using that mirror from, I think that mirror was from Seasons. It's either Seasons or Parenthood. I don't know, but I love that mirror. It is one of my favorites. I did move away from my Seasons bed. I did not use my favorite bed in this build. I ended up using this one. I do not keep it in this color though. I did go with a darker bed in the end. I don't know. I really wanted to use this light blue, but then I was having a little bit of problems just trying to get everything to look cohesive and look like it made sense together, I guess. So I did end up going with the black bed, and I went with more of a black and white kind of bedroom, which again fits with the rest of the build. Most of the build is black and white. There's just a few little splashes of color here and there, mostly purple. I don't know why I decided on purple. My original idea going into this was I was going to have my accent color be teal, and I don't think that I used any teal in this build at all, which is really strange because usually when I go in with an idea, I stick to that idea. I'm pretty good about, like, if I go in and I know what I want to do, I'm going to go in and do what I want to do. There's no getting around it. And then I did this little mirror feature over on the wall next to the fireplace, which I think looks super cool. I am definitely going to be doing this again. I really, really like the way that that turned out. And then just trying to take up some space on the walls over here so I can make sure that we don't have any, just kind of boring empty walls. I feel like having this be over decorated rather than under decorated was something that I really wanted to go for. Again, second bathroom over here, very, very simple. I do believe that I get laundry in here. It looks like that's what we're doing right now. So I did get laundry in here. And again, I did the black and white cabinets. I think that looks really nice. There is no shower and no tub in this bathroom, if I am recalling correctly. So the only shower and tub would be in through the master bedroom, which I do think makes sense. If you're going to have guests over, you probably don't need them just, like going potty and like having your shower in there. It's really unnecessary. I think it's fine that it's only located in the master bedroom. But we are going to be heading into the screenshot, so I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoy the A to Z challenge. It's probably going to take us a while to get through it, but don't worry, we will do it. If you have any questions regarding this challenge, I am going to be linking GreenScreen's channel down below so you can go take a look over there. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. If you're new here or you're not new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.